Alright, so it is July 17th. This is an update on our Harbo queen right here. So as you can see, let me get the bees off her. She looks good. And many of you have been asking about getting a F1 off our breeder, our Harbo breeder this year. Well, unfortunately, we've gotten 0 off of her this year. So we got this queen back in May 22nd. We got her introduced, as you can see. Introduction's not an issue. But you can see she's also been laying drone brood. So this was started back in May. We tried a bunch of different things. We put her in a candy cage to reset her. We've heard Dr. Tarpey speak, and he was doing a study about drone laying queens, and he was collecting them. And sometimes when people would cage a drone laying queen and mail them to him, and he installed them, they would start laying fertilized eggs again, some worker brood. Sometimes they kept going, sometimes it was short-lived, but we thought we'd try it and at least try to get some daughters off her, but that did not work. We also have read about switching queens to a different nuke and sometimes getting a better result. So her initial nuke obviously wasn't working, so we switched her to this nuke, which was a mating nuke. The queen that we took out of here we sold. Beautiful queen, doing great, so I know there's nothing wrong with this nuke. And we introduced her to the nuke. The nuke obviously accepted her, but the same result. So we've also caged her in a candy cage and just held her. Yeah, I mean, we've tried everything that we know how, but unfortunately it's just part of the game. So I don't know if there was something wrong with the insemination process, if there's something wrong with this queen biologically, but we're just not able to graft from her. All the brood ends up being drone brood. Some of these, I don't know, and I've uncapped them, but they're never old enough to tell if it's a drone brood or not. So I don't know if they are drones and the bees just end up ripping them out, but we haven't seen any newly emerged workers whenever we check on her. But anyway, just want to share this. Know that instrumentally inseminated queens are not a sure thing. From what I've gathered, it's about 50-50 that they are going to be successful. The ones that are successful sometimes are short-lived. I know there's other people that do instrumentally inseminated queens that have better success. But this has been our experience, and the people that we know that have bought an instrumentally inseminated queens, it's right around 50% or a little bit less. But anyway, I know there's people that get frustrated when they buy virgin queens from us, and the virgin doesn't get introduced well, or the mating flight is unsuccessful, and it's very frustrating, and they reach out to us. But do realize, I mean, we are also taking some of these risks as well. So you lost a $20 virgin, but this queen here costs more than $20. So it's just beekeeping. Nothing's a sure thing. And you win some and you lose some. So I think I'm about to pull the plug on her today. Not sure what we'll do with her. Maybe throw her in some alcohol, maybe freeze her. I don't know, put her in some epoxy. I don't know, she's a pretty looking queen. Everything looks great about her. She's swelled up. Just not able to get any F1s off of her. So if you've been one of those people waiting and waiting and waiting, and you feel like we were holding out on you, or not getting back to you, this is why. I mean, we just haven't had the opportunity to graft. We haven't been able to even get some for ourselves. So no Harbo F1s this year, unfortunately, but maybe next year we'll reach out to Dr. Harbo and see if we can't get on the list again. And I guess just for record purposes, this was an unproven laying queen. You can get a proven laying queen where he lets them lay for a little bit, I think, and ensures that they are in fact laying worker brood. But yeah, I'm not sure. Just kind of sad, but onward we go. We will check the F1s that we grafted from last year's breeder. we'll check them, see if there's any 4s. We haven't treated anything this year. We have seen some mites, so we know that we will be able to Harbo assay, and so we'll start identifying some lead candidates for breeders next year. And those that are high on mites or score 0s we'll treat, and the ones that score high on the Harbo assay and low on mite washes we won't treat. So trying to institute this or enact this breeding program, and try to identify who the stars are here. But anyway, long rambling video, but just wanted to show one last time, where'd she go, our breeder queen that did not work this year. See, that's usually how she walks around, with eggs hanging out of her abdomen. And then see how it just got deposited on that cell? So I think those are the ones that are actually taken. They just kind of fall out, and the bees tend to it, the larva and the egg, and they turn out to be drone. She actually is not like putting her abdomen down in cells and laying. No, she's not damaged. So I know that's gonna be the first thing people ask, like, can you see that her leg is damaged and she can't measure cells or anything? No, there's nothing wrong with her physically that I can see, but obviously something is wrong with her biologically. But anyway, have a good day, and we'll keep supplying the best queens that we can. Unfortunately, it was no Harbo this year, but it's just the way it is. You win some and you lose some. Have a good day.